Good afternoon. Would just want to begin by congratulating our team on the important win number 3, being able to take care of business in our non-conference schedule, and our guys bounced back from a tough one a week ago and put in a good week of work and got refocused and got a chance to get some things reestablished on both sides of the football and special teams. So proud of that effort. That's a key thing to be able to do, and really encouraged by our leadership of our team to be able to get us in that position and then move forward from there. So just really felt like offensively got in a rhythm like we wanted to be in. And Walt Philyor was our offensive player of the game. Very productive, continues to be. Makes explosive plays for us and brings a lot of energy. Has matured as a leader, and really there's several guys that did a lot of good things, and just felt like that ran the football effectively. Need to continue to work in that area, but thought we did a lot of good things up front. Thought that Peyton was extremely accurate, which is his traits, and just did a great job commanding the offense and ball security to me is the focus. So we fumbled that one and threw a pick. Kid made a great play, but still we got to protect that football. It's very important. And then defensively, I thought we tackled well, run fits were better, did a good job on third downs on both sides of the football. Got to create that pressure. Got some negative plays, or we create negative plays for them. Some big hits and just aggressive, confident play. Cam Jones was our defensive player of the game, and with the pick six, and he had a tackle for loss and had a pass breakup in addition to several tackles. So just kind of continues to come into his own, playing football, and just several guys on that side of the ball I thought played hard. I thought the whole team played hard, and like we expect every time we take the field. And then on special teams, Taiwan Mullen just really complete player. Really played well defensively, good tight man coverage, when called upon to do that, and just covers kicks and punts, and he's a controller on our kickoff punt return unit we call the score team, just doing just effort and technique, and so just really excited for his development as he continues to keep getting better each and every week. And then Scout Offensive Player of the Week, Connor Thomas, just one of our leaders. We awarded a scholarship to in fall camp, just an all-around team player, and does a great job leading that group and keeping those guys focused and practicing with high energy. And then on defense, two freshmen, DK Bonham and CJ Person, just really stuck out to me. I spent a lot of time down there in practice, watch all the practice reps of our offense, and those guys just continue to play hard, play well, getting better each and every week. I'll be really good players here for us in the future. And then Scout Team Specialist of the Week, McCall Ray. Just a guy came in here, locally here from Bedford North Lawrence High School, and just really good athlete, works hard, does everything we ask him to do, gives tons of effort. So I'm really encouraged by those guys as they continue to help our team get better. And just injury update, Coy Cronk, unfortunately, as many of you saw during the game, experienced a lower leg injury that was serious, and so he'll be having surgery this week and he'll be out for the season. And not career-ending, so he'll bounce back, but just tough break for him. And love that guy, everything he brings to our program and has brought to our program. And one of our captains, one of our leaders. So as you saw the guys rally around him, you can just tell by the way the team responded in an impromptu way to him on the field. I thought it's pretty awesome. So I get out there and he grabs me and he's like, "Now says you're over there just checking on him." He's like, "Coach, it's way too far from my heart to kill me." It's the first thing he said, and then the second thing he said is like, "Coach, it's a big one. We got to win this game. Make sure these guys finish." And that could happen like early in the game. So all I cared about was his teammates and his team and us getting the win, and he knows what's at stake each and every week. So great passion from him for our program, and just a lot of respect for Coy and all he's given to Indiana. So just prayers for him and his family as he goes through getting this thing squared away. And diversity makes all of us better, and so he'll benefit from this in the long term, and we'll be with him. And then at quarterback, it'll be a game time decision for that position. I'm really pleased with Peyton's play and the way he's led and continues to do a great job. And so Michael's been rehabbing, and that's continuing to go well. And we'll find out more here throughout the week, and then make a decision for that position on game day. So that pretty much wraps up the weekend, and And now we focus our attention on a really good football team, Michigan State Spartans, and Coach D'Antonio is one of the guys I have a tremendous amount of respect for in this profession, and the way he runs his program, and how hard his kids play, and how well they play. So, really good football team that we've got. Very familiar with them. A lot of the same guys we've placed the last few years. Actually went back and was watching, the 2017 game, and a lot of their same players were playing then, and the quarterback was one of them, and just a really talented player, big time, and big offensive linemen, and talented receivers, and defensively they're really impressive. So their linebacker, Bachi kid, just one of the best in the country, and just plays so hard, fundamental. D-line's impressive. Whole unit's really impressive. So I know Coach D'Antonio takes a lot of pride in their defense and them playing well. And they've obviously had that one game where they probably should have won but didn't. But other than that, going up to East Lansing, a tough environment, to be able to do what we know we need to do, which is go play well on the road and play well in conference games and continue to build our program. So excited about the opportunity this week. The brass platoon is what we're playing for. It's our first trophy game, and we'll do a good job in the morning explaining what that is to our new guys that are just here, and understand that this game means a lot to our program. So we're going to get our guys ready. Questions?
Zach and Matt.
Two questions. One's just housekeeping with Coy. Is there any discussion about kind of the 4 games, and you can have the red shirt and come back if you want, or is that something you want to leave for down the line? And then the other one is, as you think about where you're going in the future at left tackle, you move Caleb over there. You obviously know Devondre well. You've had Matthew in the program since January. Just how comfortable do you feel like you are in terms of maybe assessing who you want to be starting at that spot come Saturday?
Yeah, first of all, really no discussion whatsoever regarding Corey's future. There's a lot of different things that out there as possibilities, but right now the number one focus is get surgery, get through that, support him 100%, and we'll have those discussions with him and his family, and when it's appropriate, and make the best decision possible for him. And then regarding the position, as you saw, we can move Caleb to left tackle, which we did in the game right away, and then Devondre Love is in the mix there to play. Matthew Bedford played in there in the fourth quarter, and he'll be in the mix to play. Hayden Rafferty, the guys got to step up. And so those 3 guys are really the 3 tackles that will be being in position to prepare to do that. And to me, Caleb's going to have to be able to do both. We got to keep him ready to play both sides. A guy like Matt Bedford, we will just focus him on the left tackle because he's so young. Same with Hayden, but just trying to get those guys ready to roll. So, but that's what you have to do. That's why you recruit, and that's why you develop your guys. And I just think it's a great opportunity for somebody to step up and take advantage of it. So, but that's how we're going to approach it right now, and that's how we'll approach this week. Obviously, we have to bye the following week, so it gives us some more chance to get continued important reps. So, but all the focus right now is getting those guys ready to play against Michigan State.
Matt.
Coach, also, I don't know if he came back, but Raekwon went down in the game. How was he? And then you obviously got Cam there. He played well. Who would be the next guy? Would it Micah move out there, or would it be Eric Casey, or kind of what would be the depth chart behind
Well, right now, good question. It would be if something. Raekwon's going to be fine, so nothing that we're concerned about with him for this week. But if that's something did happen at that position, obviously Cam is back now and played really well. And then moving Micah to Stainer would be the next step, yes. And then with having James and Thomas as the mics. So we kind of have 3 right now that we rotate, and then Micah does some Stainer work in practice as well. So between all those guys, we feel like we've got a good group there to be able to mix and match as needed.
Tom and Matt Cohn.
Coach, as near as you can tell, on Monday, are you optimistic that Michael can practice this week and throw the ball during preparations?
Yes, I do expect that, yes. And so we'll see how that goes. And so that's the expectation. He'll be practicing this week and getting himself ready, and then we'll see how his body responds to that. So that will be the case tomorrow. And then on Wednesday and Thursday, we should have a pretty good idea where we're at. And then announce the kickoff.
Matt and Jim Corbin.
Whoever ends up as the starting left tackle will be their first start at the position. Do you have any concerns about that facing a Michigan State defense as well, the Fort Force defensive line?
Well, that's a tall task, against that type of an opponent. But that's the position you find yourself in, you know. So you can look at it one of two ways. You can say, you know, does that concern you or does that excite you? You know, and to me, it excites me about the opportunity that it's going to present for somebody to step up and grow, because, you know, you really find out a lot about somebody, you know, in these opportunities. And I've coached a long, long time. And so, you know, seeing so many guys take advantage of things like this, you know, when somebody goes down and can no longer play, that somebody else gets an opportunity to step up and create that for themselves and for our team. So that's the approach I have, you know. So as much as I heard for Coy, you know, he's the same way. He understands he gets it. You know, somebody else has to rise up and take his place. So we'll see. But whoever does will have a great opportunity to be able to be tested against in a tough environment, against a very, very high-level defense. So gotta go.
Jim and Zach.
No, the question is legitimate on who's going to be quarterback this week. Does it give you a rare opportunity to have kind of a leg up with the Michigan State, not knowing who they're going to prepare for, because they're very different quarterbacks?
Yeah, I guess in some ways that would be, you know, because I've been on that side of it as well, when you're not sure who it's going to be. And I truly stand right here in front of you and tell you, I don't know, you know, who it's going to be, you know. So they don't either. So I guess that may give us a little bit of an advantage in that regard, because I'll have to prepare for both. But yeah, and I think you just have to schematically, you know, be able to cover your bases and be prepared for whatever options may occur. And so, yeah, I think that's one way to look at it for sure.
Zach.
Kind of circling back to Matthew Bedford, I know as a coach you're always thinking about trying to get the guys who earned it, who are in the best position on the field, but this weekend in particular, and with a bye coming up, what's the balance you want to strike with a young guy like that, where maybe you feel like he's ready to assume a big responsibility at left tackle, but you also think, is this the right place for him to kind of make I don't want to say his debut, obviously he's played, but to really kind of play big, meaningful snaps, as opposed to maybe protecting him a little bit, giving him the bye week, and then getting ready for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think the wise approach is regardless of how it plays out, I think that, you know, multiple guys are going to have to play. You know, I don't know that you know, a guy like that for a true freshman to come in there, or even a redshirt freshman to play, you know, the entire game in that setting against that type of opponent for that many snaps. You know, so I would fully expect us to be able to get multiple guys ready and be able to have multiple options at that spot. So that to me is really probably the approach you want to take, and so you can, you don't have the luxury of easing them into it like maybe you thought you could before this happened. But at the same time, I do see this. You know, those guys are going to play. You know, Devontae's going to play a bunch, and Matt should play a bunch, and you just kind of mix the combinations, and then Aiden obviously is the next guy after that. So that to me is kind of where we're at. And but now it definitely has fast forwarded the sequence for sure.
Kevin and Matt Wheeler.
Coach, you discussed the communication concerns on the offensive line last week. How does this situation make it even more difficult? How much you emphasize it this week in practice, you know, getting everyone on the same page?
Yeah, I think that's, you know, you talk about as you grow as a unit, you know, and they learn. You know, I just sat in this morning on a big chunk of their meeting and watching film together with our guys, and that's part of it, you know. And so, yeah, when you now, you know, we're going to increase the number of guys that are new, you know, that definitely creates more challenges for that process of communicating and working together side by side, hip to hip in some ways, and communicating how you work on combination blocks and picking up pressures and all the different things that those guys have to deal with. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely it creates the challenge that you have. It increases probably the level of difficulty of that challenge, but that's you know, we're not the only ones in the country dealing with stuff like this. You know, so it happens at every place, in different positions and different situations, and you have to work really hard to get guys ready. And sometimes plans change in a quick second. And as we tell our guys, you know, you never know how things unfold, and you better be ready. You're ready to be called upon, and you don't know when you're going to be your last play on the end of the season, and so you got to have a sense of urgency about you. So even this is a great reminder for everybody, you know, about that. So but yeah, we got to get those guys ready, and get reps, and we got to continue to work together to maximize the walkthrough reps, the physical reps, the practice reps, the meeting reps, all those things that go together to get you prepared to play game day.
Matt Wheeler.
Coach Michael Ziemba is a guy you guys recruited as a D, and you know he was a tight end linebacker in high school, broke his foot, missed most of his senior year. Were you surprised that he was able to come and play as a true freshman, even though he never played the spot? And what do you like about him as a player? What about him kind of stands out?
Well, first of all, he's playing really well right now, and his confidence has grown with each passing season that he's been here. As you mentioned, he did not play the position in high school, so there was a learning curve that he had to go through to get that confidence. I think it's never, ever been not the case. He's always played hard, and he plays hard right now, and he's a joy to put the film on, just watch him fly around and chase down people and just play with fanatical effort. And as we tell our team all the time, it's the one variable you completely control. So that's a choice he makes. Every time he takes the field, he's going to play that way. He just had to learn how to play, and he's just taking on big old tight ends and tackles at times, and using your hands and defeating blocks and reading blocks on the run. That has taken some time to get to that point. And so I just, you saw he can be so disruptive because of the speed and athleticism, and you can't ever have enough big guys that can run. And he's one of those type of body types for us. So really happy for him and how well he's playing and how hard he plays is his choice that he brings every day, and he's that way in practice all the time. And so really a lot of respect for that, for him, and appreciate all he gives our program. So yeah, we just, it probably has surprised us that he played as early as he did, but he's got to keep getting better and better, and he has.
Bradley Natal.
Coach, Cam Jones mentioned in talking about some of the young guys that when you recruited those two classes, the guys who are sophomores and freshmen right now, one of your big things is fast and physical. You know, Cam Jones is playing all the time, one special teams play of the week. Why are you starting to see some of these young guys be productive, and is fast and physical part of what you're seeing out there?
Well, that's how they're playing, and it doesn't always show up when they're young, if they're thinking too much, and I think that takes a little time. Each position's a little different, in terms of how long it takes to get that confidence level to know what you're doing collegiately compared to high school ball. But I think, we're by design recruiting a bunch of guys that in their high school film, and when we went watching practice or when watching them play, that we saw guys that could run and they play at a high level of physicality. Because they don't usually change, so if you want guys fast, recruit them fast. If you want guys that are physical, recruit them when they're physical and they're playing high school, because you don't usually just become a different guy. There's no doubt they're going to get bigger, faster, and stronger, and more confident when they come to you, for sure. But there's certain qualities that you look for in these guys, and there's also a level of confidence. Tyler Mullen's got a lot of confidence. He didn't back down to anybody. Doesn't say a whole lot. He's not a big trash talker in a lot of ways. He'll talk a little bit, like most of them do. But that's he's just a very confident individual. He's from where he's from, and the ball that he's played and who he goes against, and even the 7-on-7 teams that he was part of, and he's going against the best in the country. And so he'll step up and line up against a receiver and stare him down and take him man on man without any thought, and so, but you recruit a guy like that showed up in high school, and you get to know the personality, and he has, a belief about what he came here to do, and you're seeing more and more of that. There's a lot of these young guys that are out there making plays, and so, freshman, sophomore, those two classes are a big part of our future, and half those guys haven't even played yet in that freshman class, so, but just trying to continue to build them, develop them, and it's exciting for me when they get these opportunities, and it's like, a guy like Matt Bedford, this is an opportunity for him to see what he does with it, and see how he responds with when he and Devontae as they battle to give us the depth of that position that we need, so, but O-line's a little different than playing corner and even linebacker in some ways, so from a physical perspective from what you have to do, and then the mental side of this is intense as well on the line of scrimmage. So, but yeah, these are guys that fast and physical mantra to me is something I say a lot, and I want it to be manifested when they get here, but you want to recruit guys that have these qualities.
Tom Taylor.
Coach, to follow up on that, one thing that Cam talked a lot about too is in referring to that class, how all of those guys together, kind of matter. And what surprised me too, as he mentioned, is that there are already a lot of leaders emerging in that sophomore class for guys who are sophomores who are stepping up and helping kind of lead the way too. Do you see a lot of that yourself in that class?
Absolutely. And we said it's hard on your team when you start talking about captains and guys that are voted into leadership or selected those things, that it's hard as a sophomore to kind of be you're probably a year away from some of those things, but we just have said as a staff, there's just so many guys in that sophomore group that we know are going to be leaders. seniors. They're already leading in their own way right now. And so it was going to go from where we kind of had to really kind of create several of them. I felt like the last couple of years, and really the guys have responded really well this year, but I feel like that those younger groups, especially that sophomore class, I know the freshman class, you know, is supposed to be ranked higher, you know, in terms of whatever that means. But in regards to those, there's a lot of sophomores that they work extremely hard. They're very confident. They respond to what we've challenged them with. Many of those guys are leadership council, which was basically selected by the team. You know, we went through and voted a year ago for that group, and a lot of those guys are on that. There's some redshirt sophomores in that group as well that are now in that class, and so yeah, it's a very good group. You know, to me, from a leadership perspective as well as a talent perspective, especially in the other defense. There's a lot of those guys are in that group, in that age group. So yeah, it's exciting for me to have those guys here and see them buy in. But then there's a lot of these freshmen too that I think there's a different mindset that they brought when they got here, and that's like I said, half of them haven't even got on the field yet. So it's just part of the foundation that we're laying, what we're building. Got to keep building on that. Got to keep recruiting to that extent. Had really good conversations over the weekend. The recruits were on campus after the game, even on Sunday, and before the game with families, and just continuing to build and sell what we're building here, and the way we're building it, the kind of young men we want here, and how critical it is to get the right fit. Because it's not just about being one component. It's all variables involved to get the right fit for Indiana University and for our football program and for the guys that are going to help us be a part of our exciting future. So that's, I love the guys we've recruited and believe in them, and I love the guys that are here, the older guys that are trying to leave a legacy of what they've been able to be a part of as they built this program here during their time at IU.
Taylor?
Coach, I know you don't want to get into too many specifics, but back to Mike Penix's situation, I know you said you guys weren't 100% sure, but an injury having, but has anything new been learned about that injury, or is he progressing well?
All I know is he's getting better. So I can say that with confidence that he is progressing, and I'm trusting in our medical staff for their analysis and evaluation. They do a tremendous job, so I believe in them and trust them. So yeah, we're making progress. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing, and we'll see how we'll see when we get ready to come back. But definitely making progress.
John, last one.
As far as Michael, I mean, having the bye week after, is there any temptation to give him more rest so that he'd be completely ready, or is he
Only
pretty
if he's
ready?
not ready. To me, it's because I'm not going to put him out there if he's not ready. And so, because of having the bye afterwards, there's no doubt that he would give you an extended period of time. But my approach would be, if he's ready to go, then he's going to go. If he's not, then I would feel really confident that he would be ready after the bye week. But those are things that I don't know for sure. We don't want to speculate. But like I said, we got two really good quarterbacks that played at the level, and I believe in both of them. So that excites me too.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Awesome. Have a great day. Elio.